All right. I have the audio working. Man, I haven't streamed on Twitch in a long time. All right. You gotta give me a break.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm used to the YouTubes. What is up, Star Citizens? I am Fist-25, and this guy is
JawaSparky. How you guys doing?
JawaSparky. Hey, we are here to do a live stream, and then we're gonna upload this later to YouTube. I think Jawa's gonna do an edit because I'm getting on him to make a video. But yeah. We are going to do some reviews on Drake ships leading up to the Drake DefenseCon, which I believe is Saturday, right, Jawa? Yeah, Saturday, during the Invictus launch week for Star Citizen. And this is the first type of video we've ever made in this type of category, really. And
it's been similar.
Yeah. Are we dropping frames?
Ish.
Dropping frames?
I don't know.
It looks okay. Can you monitor Twitch a little bit? Make sure it's working.
Yeah, I'm looking over at Twitch.
Okay. Hi, what's up, Cutlass? What's up, brother?
Yeah, it does look like it's pixelating. But
is it actually pixelating?
Not pixelating, but it's kind of jerky.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, if this doesn't come out well, it'll be on YouTube.
It'll be on YouTube.
Yeah. It is dropping frames. I don't know why. I don't know why it's doing it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like on OBS right here, everything looks great. Well, pretty great. It is skipping a little bit, but I don't know why. I could turn off my fist cam, see if that works. Maybe that'll free up something. You can also turn off the music. It still says it's skipping frames due to encoding lag, which doesn't make any sense. I just downloaded the new drivers. I don't know. I could stop the recording.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Well, I bet we could always stitch them together. See, it's not the recording. Maybe it is the recording. Because now it's not dropping frames at all. Okay, so you're going to have to download this from Twitch, my friend. And
on Monday.
What do you mean on Monday? Won't let you download?
That's the next time I have time to do this, to work on this stuff.
Oh, well, that ain't going to work. We will figure it out because you can download videos from Twitch once they process. All right, Kalis. Sounds like it's better now. Guess I'll turn the music back on. I had an issue with
Spotify. Yep. Oh, yeah. Do you still have that issue?
So it's actually my daughter's account, believe it or not. And we have a family plan, and then it got like my wife had to get a new debit card, and so like it expired on there because I had the old card. And anyway, long story short, I renewed it, but when I renewed it, it doesn't have the family plan anymore, so I'll have to fix that. Anyway, regardless of that, welcome to Fist and Jawa Save the Universe. What we're going to do tonight is we are going to rank Drake ships for the upcoming Drake DefenseCon. And that's going to be interesting. We're going to rank them against all the other ships in Star Citizen, but we're only going to show you Drake. Does that make sense, Jawa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
So we did have most agreements and some disagreements with our rankings and things like that, but kind of interesting.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah,
For the most
part it was
part, we
the same.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So towards the end, if we have a little bit of time, we may try to grab somebody from the Discord, but let us know in chat if you'd like to come in the Discord and give your opinion on a couple things. And if so, and we're still streaming, we'll drag you into our recording room and you can give your opinion. But for now, I guess let's get started. Let me bring up the window capture. There we go. So we have all the Drake ships up here. It's been interesting. What I did a couple days ago is I went on Urkel.games and I also the Drake Leviathan, Kayla says. Yeah. It's $99,999.99 you can buy the Drake Leviathan. If you don't know, Jawa, Drake is a concept ship will be out on Drake Day on the DefenseCon, and it's supposed to be another like really big capital ship or something.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard about that. I think
it may be called the Leviathan, but considering where the Kraken's at or not at, I have no idea if I plan to purchase this or not.
Yeah,
probably not, especially if it's like Javelin priced. Yeah, not gonna do it. So because we won't see it for 10 years. So anyway, I went on to Urkel.games and downloaded all the stats for the ships for how they maneuver and things like that. I also went on to scperformanceviewer.eu and these links should be in the description of the YouTube video. And I copied in just for Drake things like their weapon stats and all that stuff, and then we're comparing them all together, and we made a big Excel file and we sorted them by Drake and things like that. So pretty interesting the way the results came out. And I think we're going to go ahead and get into it. I think the first ship we want to...
Buck?
Yeah, hold on a sec.
I'm going to start at the top.
I'm sorting my screens out ever so slightly. Yeah, let's start at the Buccaneer. The Buccaneer is the first ship. The role of the Buccaneer. I think we're agreeing it's a combat ship. Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's a light fighter, right? It's not a medium fighter by any means. It doesn't have the whole hit points or the shields for that. It is a size 2 ship. It is a solo ship. Take that into account. It's pretty small, right? And here's the thing. If you have watched any of the Avenger 1 metas, there's 2 ships that are in his super tier. And the Buccaneer is the number 1 ship for Avenger 1 for combat in Master Modes, the 3.23. And that's a combination of factors. One, because it's such a big threat. It's got a lot of guns. I think it's 5 guns on the Buck. And it's fast. It's not fast, but it's quick. It's fairly maneuverable, and it's got a lot of guns. It's what I would call a glass cannon. But if you have to be an expert pilot, and of course Avenger 1 is an expert pilot, and it'll allow you to just go out there and smoke fools, especially in PvP. PvE is a little different story because PvE enemies don't fly like PvP enemies do at all.
Yeah. Right.
Different story in PvE. So guys, as you can see up on the screen, there's a tier ranking S super, and we have A through F for our grades. And then we have a little box that I'm going to copy around. And we have a little bit different stats. We have TCM, which is the threat of the ship. Mm-hmm. The what's the other one? Control? No. It's threat.
Control. Yeah, it's threat, control, maneuverability.
Oh, it shouldn't be control. It shouldn't be control. It should be survivability. Let me change that to an S.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you get survivability as well.
So maneuverability is the overall thing, right? It's not. So it's threat, maneuverability, and survivability. And then FF stands for fun factor. How fun is this ship, basically? U stands for utility. What's the MM on there, Noah? That's the money making potential. Yeah, and then overall ship value. And keep in mind, folks, this is in comparison to all the other ships in Star Citizen, not compared to each other, because these are vastly different categories. We're not comparing fighters to fighters here. We're comparing Drake ships to all the other ships. And so that's where these numbers come from. That's important to remember, because you're going to probably see stuff you don't agree with, and so we're going to get hate down in the comments section. So, with that, let's start off with Buccaneer, sir. We had, and I'll tell these people where we disagreed, basically. But for threat, I put it at a 3. Now, these are scales of 1, well, really kind of a 0 through 10, but mostly 1 through 10. And I think the Buck is a 3.5. You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Okay, so 5 guns. If it gets behind you, it gets behind you, it's gonna do some damage.
Yeah.
But okay, and then for maneuverability, what I did was I took all the stats from the SCM speed, the boost forward, backwards, your maximum nav speed, your pick shot and roll, and your boosted pick shot and roll. I took all those stats together and I averaged them out. And I came up with a control average, and the Buck ended up at a score of 305, which is, out of all the Drake ships, it's tied for the highest. Tied with Jawa's favorite ship, which, do I even have that up here?
Yeah.
No, I don't have the icon up here.
Oh, you don't have?
Oh my God. I'll have to do that. We'll have to do that live.
Okay. All right.
But regardless of that, I can't believe I forgot that ship. Yeah, go ahead and do the stats for maneuverability and survivability, please.
Okay, so maneuverability, he rated it as a 5, or it was rated as a 5, and survivability, it's a 3. That's what Fist rated at. I personally rated it lower. I'm not as good of a combat pilot, and every time I'm out in a Buck doing any sort of combat, unless it's real easy stuff or it's shooting people on the ground, I get smoked immediately. I mean, it's it cannot take any hits at all. It just goes.
It can't.
So,
well, it can take some hits, but it definitely can't take a lot of hits, for sure.
But so if you're a newer pilot looking to get into some dogfighting, okay, granted, the Buccaneer will take things down quick if you can get behind him, but if somebody gets behind you, you're done. So I would maybe look at a different ship. I'll be honest with you, I would pick the Cutlass as a dogfighter over the Buck.
Okay, so let's throw the stats in here for the Buck.
Okay. So
our threat was a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not a ton of threat. It's not an Idris, right? Its maneuverability was a 5. It's a 5.
That's what you have it as, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty darn maneuverable. It's quick. Right. It can get there. And its survivability score, we should have grouped these together. We're learning as we go, guys.
Yeah,
this is our first one. Our survivability I have as a 3. Jawa thought it should be lower, right? Because it's not a ship made for new pilots. And the reason is because it has decent hull. It's got like 10,000 hull hit points. It only has a size 1 shield. So that's not a lot. So, but it does have decent hull hit points. But if you take an engine off, like, you're flying in circles, right? It's not great. So I had it as a 3, maybe 3.5 for survivability.
Mm-hmm. But
with the caveat that it's not for new pilots. You need to be a good pilot for this.
Agreed.
Okay. Fun
factor. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to fly. It really is.
Well, speaking of fun, what do we have under fun factor?
Fun factor. Let's see. Where is as a 5? Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah. So it is fun. It's diminishing returns on it unless you really like dogfighting.
Right.
What do we have under there for utility?
0. You can
0.
dogfight in it, and well, that's it.
That's it.
Unless maybe and pretty soon they're not going to let you have a backpack on when you're flying a fighter. So playing loot goblin like I like to do, that ain't going to happen. You can't do any box missions in it. So what is it for? Going from the planet's surface up to a station, dogfighting, and maybe flying cover for miners.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. As far as a money making value, we put it as a 4 because it can do. You could solo all the way through with it if you're a really good pilot, but realistically, you could do HRTs with it as even an average pilot. I think if you're a good dogfighter, a decent dogfighter,
Right.
So there is some decent money making potential in that, but it's not real high in comparison to other ships. It's a 4.
Right. Well, and I used it right back when monitor missions were really high. You know, you can make a lot of money off of them. I did use the buck for that because you could just unleash some power. You could destroy the monitor before the bad guys got there and get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
So I could go in, finish the mission before the bad guys showed up. Bad guys showed up, I was done.
Okay, and then moving on to the value in the game. And then remember, these are in comparison to all the other ships in Star Citizen. We're going to list it as a 3 out of 10 because it's a dogfighter and that's really it. You can travel with it, you can dogfight with it. That's really it. You can't do anything else. That goes to utility as well. The one of the nice things about it, and maybe it's a 3.5 Jawa, is because it's low price compared to other dogfighters. It is only $110 in real money.
Right. Right.
In game, it's 1.6 million. So that's relatively cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it is. And I agree with that. With the game is a 3 for $110. We're going to get to the Cutlass Black here in a minute. And yeah.
Okay, let's go after the X factors here, which we're not going to type out. But my X factor was guns with a Z. It's got a lot of guns. It's got the spinal mount. Like, you can configure all kinds of different stuff. It's a very small ship that's got 5 guns, and one of them's big. So it's similar to like a Hornet loadout. It's cool, right? And then the other X factor I have is that it's a glass cannon. It can dish it out, but it can't really take it. And Drake doesn't do ejection seats, so if you get blown up, you're gone. You're crashing with the ship. What are your X factors?
I agreed with both of those, but for me, it's useless. I can't log out in it, and it goes boom real quick.
Yep. So let's rank this from, remember, S is the highest Jawa, that's super, down to F in comparison to all the other ships in Star Citizen. Where do you think the Buck ranks? Is it like a C, like a solid C? It's a value of 3, maybe C minus.
Yeah, give it a C minus.
Like a C minus, borderline D, pretty much.
Yep.
I agree with you there.
Look at that. That's cool.
Oh, my computer is yelling at me. I'm trying to copy the text box. Okay, so we'll put the buck stats up there. Okay, the next ship we're going to talk about is the Caterpillar. Go ahead and take it away, sir.
Caterpillar, that was my first big ship. It's Fist introduced me to cargo hauling. I remember one time I had spent everything that I had on some cargo, and I augured it in. And everything goes boom. But since then, I've really learned how to fly it, and I've actually used it for filming. And people have commented in the video, what ship did you do that? You know, the filming in the Pisces. I said, no, a Caterpillar. No way. How'd you do that? Well, I just did. One thing on my throttle control, my index finger, I have a little joystick there that I can use all of my thrusters, left, right, up, down thrusters on that. But let's go ahead and get into some of these things. Oops, scroll the other way. We don't want to do that quite yet. Let's see. The size is a 5.
Well, before we do that, go ahead. No, go ahead, because I thought you were going to talk about the threat.
Oh no. The size is a 5, and we both agree it's a transport ship, a freight, medium freight. And I'm going to get in during my X Factor some other uses that I have for it.
It's a space trucker.
Right. And 576 SCU of cargo. I mean, when I started, that was it. That was the most. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's still in the top 5, right?
Yeah.
It's close to that. It's a lot.
And I like the idea that, well, that's an X Factor, but I like the idea that you can go around the whole ship. So, and now it has a tractor beam on it too. Nice. So, but it is a big ship, 111, I think that's meters long. So you're talking bigger than a football field, 39 and a half wide and 13.4 tall. And in kilograms, it weighs over 1 million kilograms, but it's one of my favorite ships. I really enjoy it. In fact, my friends over here on the B team helped me finish the Pirate Swarm, and I bought the Caterpillar Pirate, which has basically the same stats.
I also have a Pirate. Yep. And I got rid of my regular one because you don't need 2. You need one.
You don't.
So what did we get? So we know it's a big ship, right? It weighs a lot. It's very long. It's oblong. It doesn't have great speed, right?
No.
It's not a goer. In comparison to the Buccaneer, Buccaneer's SCM speed's 240, which is pretty good. Right. The Cat's 130, so its SCM speed's low. Yeah. Its max speed is 900, which is also low, under 1,000 for its maximum speed. So that's pretty. That's in space. So it's not going anywhere fast.
Right.
So I think it ended up having an average control score of 158 compared to the Buck was at 305.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up giving it a maneuverability score of 2.
Correct.
It's not a hammerhead. It's not an Idris. It's not any of those gigantic ships. It's not a cap ship, but it's slow and it's a big target. So
right.
Yeah. So maneuverability score of 2. What about its threat?
Its threat. Let me go over here to its threat. Besides using it to run into things, it doesn't really have much firepower. Have I taken stuff down with it? Yes. Yeah. Did the White Knight save me in one of the streams?
Yes,
that was Fist
did.
in his. And I have video of Fist dogfighting in a white Caterpillar.
Yep, I remember that, and I was screaming, "It's the White Knight!" And I had the Polar Caterpillar coming in, and I think you got shot down or you had to eject or something, and I went in there and finished like an HRT with a Caterpillar because it was the only ship I had. This was before you could deliver any ship on a station, right? Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, so but we have it as a threat of 2. I mean, usually if you see a Caterpillar rolling up on you, you're going to be able to outmaneuver it. You're going to be able to get behind it. You're going to be able to get to the side of it. You'll be able to get away from it. So
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's not a very threatening ship unless it's white in color and
you don't want to ignore it. You don't want to ignore it, but at the same time, it's not made for combat. It's made. Its turrets are defense, and it only has 4 shooting lasers from the pilot seat. So, and it has no missiles at all. So it's very low threat.
Although I'll get back to threat here in a minute.
Okay. Survivability, we gave it an 8. The reason is because it's a big ship. It's got a lot of hull hit points. Out of all the Drake ships, it has the most with 92,700 hull hit points. And it has the biggest shields at 200,000. So size 3 shields on Caterpillar that you can swap around, even though you don't need to in this patch. But in the future, you know, I think it's a big deal. It has a lot of survivability.
Yeah, it does.
It can take a licking and keep on taking. So, what about the fun factor, sir?
Oh, fun factor. It's a trucker. It gets freight from point A to point B, but I'm going to get a little further into that in my X factor. But if you enjoy being a space trucker, you're going to have a lot more fun with it. I use it to haul ore from a refinery down to planet surface. That's what I use it for.
Yeah. Oh, my daughter must have come home. That's why the music went away. And she's calling me right now.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to yell at her. Turn off Spotify now. It's just playing on iPhone. Okay, we'll just go no sound for a minute. Craziness. Okay, so minimize that. Okay, so our fun factor is a 4. So it's fun to play with. But at the same time, it's cargo. The other game loops, it does have tractor beam, right? So you can track your stuff, but the other game loops it really can't do. So a 4, like, it's cool, but it takes a while to get out. It's kind of the default equipment is slow, things like that. So utility value, we listed it as a 7. Why did we give it a 7, Sparky?
Because you can haul a lot of stuff in it. That's the main thing. Also, I'll touch on that, my fun factor, but my X factor. But I just have it sitting at a refinery station. I keep dumping ore in it until it's ready to go, and then I go. It makes me money.
It does. It's good for that.
Hopefully one of these days we'll be able to just park out in the Halo and have a little refinery ship out there and just line Caterpillars up, filling them up, shipping them out. So,
Okay, there we go. I think we have the music going again. Yes, thank you, daughter, for getting off of Spotify. Yes, so in addition to that, for utility, it does have the tractor beam. It can carry ground vehicles. It can carry cargo. It can carry Furies, like a little pocket carrier almost. You're
stepping on my X factor.
Oh, sorry, but it's multi-crew. It has turrets in it. Like, legitimately, there's a lot you can do with it. It's a lot of utility value. It's just big and slow.
Yeah, true.
Money-making value, we had
although Urkel has it as a crew size of 1.
Does it?
Yep.
Huh. Well, that's obviously a mistake because it can have way more than 1.
Yes, it can.
Interesting. Urkel's wrong all the time. It does have a money-making value of 7 because you can do so many things with it, right? While you can't salvage with it, you could have a whole gaggle of people go out and salvage. You could put parts into the cat and then bring them out and have your Vulture or your Reclaimer salvage them. Like, the hauler can do so many different things. I think it's a good money making value, and when you have that much cargo space, you could actually, especially in the past, you could make a lot of money with a Caterpillar.
Sure can.
So, okay.
That's how I bought my first 890.
Yes, sir. Moving on. Before we talk about the value in game, the Caterpillar does go for $330 right now in real life money, which is significant. It's not a cheap investment. It is actually the most expensive Drake ship that you can actually fly in game. And in game, it costs 12.4 million, which is very high considering 3 years ago it was 4.5 million, I think.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah. So the value in game has gone up too. So we gave it a value of 4. Why do you agree with that number, Jawa?
Because of the C2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but because of the C2. I mean, granted, I can use the tractor beam now, which is a recent patch, but I can tractor beam a vehicle up into the Caterpillar, but I got 2 loading ramps in my my C2. So one in the front and one in the back.
Yeah. So
That's fine.
I like it as and now I want to also caveat this tier list is Drake only. It's not.
Mhm. Yes.
It's compared to all the other ships in the game, but it is just for this review we're doing. So it's kind of a twofold thing. It is Drake only here. Just these things that we're reviewing. If we put something in the S tier, that doesn't mean it's S tier for the whole game. It's just out of these ships, it's S tier.
Right.
So yeah, I gave it a 4 because it has value. It's not bad. It's close to medium, but there's only so much you can do, and it takes so long to do it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's, if you want to use the cat and you already have it in space and you're not flying around, it's a lot faster. But if you're
Right.
just starting out in the game, you're kind of getting used to things, you have it on a planet. I mean, you're talking about an hour of just prep time to get it ready to go and get it out on a mission and doing stuff. So
yeah, it's not one of those that you could just jump in and fly. As I mentioned earlier, I've flown it to record, and I've had it for so many years. I know how to maneuver it, so I know what the drift is on it. So it's easy for me to fly, but other people have struggled with it. So just it's a big semi is.
So let's go on to the X Factor. My X Factor is it's fun for cargo. It does need a rework because there's some issues with the ship overall. And right now in the game, cargo sucks. Cargo gameplay hasn't been fun for 2 years. So that's why its value is lower. What about your X Factors?
I put down, you can also use it as a pocket carrier for Furies. We did that one stream. We had an absolute blast. Just opened up the doors and all these Furies fly out. And we had an absolute ball with that. And then we would roll up onto salvage sites, or we would send salvagers to these sites where we've attacked things with the Furies. And then you load everything into the cat and haul it away. So you can pirate cat, you're pirating stuff. So, and I just can't wait for modularity, being able to attach that little command module. So that'll be really cool.
Where are we gonna put the cat as far as its ranking against these other ships?
I'd say a B+.
I think a B. Yeah. Let's put a solid B, because I would say B-. So let's do a solid B for the cat. It has so much room that even if you're hauling barrel, you can make some serious money.
Yeah.
So, if you get a Laranite or something, you're making a lot of money. So that's the value of it. It has so much cargo, unlike if you're using a Cuddy or something like that. 46 cargo, 576 cargo. Big difference.
Yep.
But the downside of that is you have to have money to make money. So that's the way.
And if you misjudge something and you auger it in, there goes all your money.
Yep.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, let's talk about the Corsair.
Corsair, yeah. It's our B team ship.
It is. Go ahead, brother.
And let's see. Right. It's an expedition or exploration ship. Cruise size of 4. Tibbs absolutely, that's his daily driver.
It is.
But when I go in there, I always try and steal the flask from him. And it has a cargo SU of 72, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then now the inventory is somewhat off of that. There's 5.6 on the inventory, but SCM speed of 200, which isn't bad.
It has a good internal inventory. It really does.
Right.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So, and no, I'll do that for my X Factor. So
it's I know it says it's an exploration ship, expedition ship, but
right.
let's be real, it's secondary or very close to primary as a combat ship.
Right.
But it's made to rival the Constellation, but it's a lot more firepower than a Connie, in my opinion. And its turrets can do a ton of damage.
Right.
And it comes stock with some really nice guns. So
yeah, it does.
Okay, so it's speed and all that stuff. It's maneuverability. It's faster than the Caterpillar.
Yeah.
It's faster than like a Cutter and a Dragonfly. But it can actually get up and move for a ship of its size.
Right.
It's got that asymmetric spread wing on the side, which is cool. It's one of the very few asymmetric ships in the game. The MSR being a very good example. And it does have a decent max speed and things like that, but you're not doing a ton of barrel rolls in the Corsair because it is big and it is fairly slow in comparison.
Yeah.
So
unless you're Tibbs and then you do barrel rolls into other people. So
yeah, it's not horrible. It came up with a control average of 207. Compared to the Buck is 305. The Cat was 158. So it's better than the Cat, but it's not much better.
Right.
So maneuverability is what, a 2? It's a 2 for maneuver.
Yeah. Yep.
How about threat?
Red. It's, you don't want to see one of those roll up on you.
I agree.
Especially if it's fully crewed. Because those turrets, they can do some damage.
Yeah. We put
and
it
not
as
to mention the
7.
other guns and the missiles and everything else it has. Yeah.
Yeah, we put it at a 7 for threat because you do not want to have a Corsair roll up behind you. Or really in your near vicinity if it's fully crewed. It's kind of like having a Redeemer around you.
Right.
You're gonna get hammered pretty darn hard. We routinely take out hammerheads with it because it is a very powerful ship. So high threat value. It has, out of all the Drake ships, it has the most gun damage of over 12,000 DPS. And it has the one of the highest missile damages. I think everybody will be surprised what has the highest. But it's third. No, it's fourth. It's fourth in missile damage from all the other Drake ships. Fourth, guys, and it's a kind of a combat ship. So
yeah,
a solid 7 for threat. Survivability
7.
Yes.
Yeah, and it can take some hits.
Yeah.
And if you mistakenly fly into somebody and blow up their ship, it usually survives.
It does. Yeah, Tibbs has smacked me with his Corsair numerous times. Tibbs maneuver, basically. It's got just a little bit less hull hit points than a Cat, and it has half the shields of a Caterpillar. So 100,000 versus 200,000. But 91,000 hit points. The Cat has 92,000. So that's high survivability in the Corsair. It can lose a bunch of parts before it actually goes kaboom. So All right. The fun factor of the Corsair.
It's a 7.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot with it.
I think you can. Yeah.
You really can.
Yeah. You can do cargo missions. You can do combat missions. You can do higher level combat missions with multi-crew, right? You can put small ships in it. You can throw the Ursa in it, make it a medbed. The Nursa, I should say. You can do all kinds of stuff with a Corsair. You can explore with it. You can throw a rock in it. Like, you can do a lot.
Yeah, right.
So utility value of the Corsair.
The utility value is a 9 because you can do so much with it. Yep. It's good for fighting. It's good for bounty hunting missions. It's good for box missions. It's good for cargo. It's good for hauling a rock. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, and it's not caterpillar size, so it's easier to maneuver around land. It's smaller, so you can land places. It's newer. It's got, it's not this old tech. It's one of the newer ships. The money making value of it, sir,
is a 7.
Also a 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we just said, there's a ton of stuff you can do to make money with it. I don't think we need to reiterate that. And lastly, before we talk about value, it costs $250 real life money, and 6.5 million in the game, which is, in my eyes, pretty cheap.
Yeah,
and a Caterpillar,
it is.
Yeah, Caterpillar costs 12.4. Corsair's 6.5. So
right.
So we gave it a game value of 6. Pretty high, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's deserved because it has high utility. It has a high level of fun, with the caveat of you need to really utilize it. You have to have multi-crew.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
It's not as fun solo for sure. What's your X factor on this one, Jawa?
First of all, it looks really cool. It really does. Cool. And you can haul, I'm a miner. I can haul my rock in it, no problem. And then also I like the idea that the elevator goes up to the top of the ship. So if you go into a hot LZ or something, you can hide up there and shoot at people.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Not yours.
What do I have on here? It's fun for group, bounty, cargo stuff. That's my X factor. Stuff we've already talked about. So let's go ahead and tier it up. My initial thoughts is this is A tier.
I agree. I do.
Solid A tier for the Drake Corsair. I agree. I think it's funner than, if that's a word, funner. I think it's more fun than a Constellation, even though that's its competition.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's move on.
This
looks better. Let's move on to the Cutty Black. Go ahead, start us out.
I can't say enough good things about the Cutty Black. It was another one of my first ships in the game, that I bought with in-game money. I mean, it does everything. Its type, or its career, is multi-role, and its role is medium fighter, medium freight. Okay, medium everything. I would just call the role multi-roles, period.
Yeah,
it does everything. A crew of 3. It goes quick. For its size, you have 3 doors on the things to get in and out of. I mean, there's so much you can do with this ship. And something I learned today that I didn't know before, because I haven't flown a Cutty Black in a while, it has a tractor beam on the back of it, the inside back. So
it's 8 years old when you learned it had a tractor beam it's been there for 8 months.
Yeah, that shows you how much I fly the Cutty Black now. Again, I use other ships, but the Black is just a phenomenal ship. It is
one of the true multi-role ships in the game. For its what makes it special is its size.
Right.
It's a compact little box of fun. It's classified as a medium fighter, medium freight. I think it's more light freight, really. But
since we got all the new stuff we've gotten,
right. Crew size of legitimately 3: pilot, co-pilot / tractor beam, and a turret gunner. I think it only has 2 beds in it though. Someone has to fly it. It has a cargo grid, cargo size of 46. I can't emphasize how good that is, because you could fit, I think, everything but a ballista / Spartan in it for a ground vehicle.
Right.
You could take it mining. You can, with a rock, you can use your tractor beam to move things in and out. With cargo, 46 cargo is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Especially because this is a starter ship, right?
Yeah.
It's got 4 size 3 guns.
Yeah.
And a turret.
I don't. Is it really a starter ship? I don't think
it is. It is. It's a starter ship. Yes, there's a starter package.
In my opinion, that is the best starter package out there.
Hands down.
It is.
Hands down. It's tied for the sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. It has one of the fastest SCM speeds. It's tied for second behind the Buck and the Herald for SCM speeds. It also has a very good SCM boost speed. So it's decent maneuverability, a really good back boost speed of 230, whereas the Buck is 260, right? A good, all around good here, guys. 1125 for max nav, decent pitch roll yaw, right? But overall, in comparison to all the other ships in the game, a maneuverability score of 3. Because while it's maneuverable, it's not that maneuverable. It's still a Cutlass Black. It's not an arrow, right? So
right.
Yeah. So maneuverability of 3. Right.
Did you fit a Fury in it? I think, didn't we try that?
I don't know if we have. Extreme idea though. Let's fit a Fury in Cutlass Black. Right. It had a control average of 252, which the Buck was 305. So give you a comparison there. The Corsair was 207, Cutlass Black 252.
Right.
As far as a threat score, we gave it a 4. Because its total gun damage is 3,000 DPS. That's with the turret. It does have a lot of missiles, right? 33,000 damage in missiles if all the missiles hit you stock, which is tied for second out of all these Drake ships. There is a ship that has more missile damage. So a ton of missile damage. Really, I think it's tied for, no, it's not tied. It is 4th place for total guns damage. 4 size 3s and 2, I think it's 2 size 2s and the turret. That's a lot. That's like, you could do some real damage with that. So, but overall, I mean, it's not insane. You can still go up against, you can fly with and fight a Cutty. You know what I mean? It's not, if it gets behind you, it's not the end of the world, but you can't necessarily ignore it.
Right.
Survivability score is a 4. It's a 4 because it has good whole hit points and a size 2 shield of 6,000. It's not a Caterpillar, right? So
right. And we regularly see them at sites where pirates are. I mean, that's what you always run across, and we've changed our loadouts, but we light them up pretty quick. So, but if you know how to fly it and you know how to equip it out, it will survive most things.
Yeah, we gave it a fun factor of 6, and I think that's pretty accurate. You can do a ton in it, but there's some stuff you can't do. It's not. You can't salvage in it, but you can have your salvage gear. Right. You can't mine with it, but you can bring a rock. Right. So it excels at cargo. It excels at fighting.
Mm-hmm.
in box missions, but you know, there's some things it's not good at. It's jack of all trades type of ship, right?
Right.
Which brings us into the utility of it, which is we rated it at an 8 for utility. Right. It can do almost as much as the Corsair, right? Just less firepower. So, and it doesn't have as much cargo space as Corsair. So,
right.
But it does. I can't emphasize enough how good a Cutty Black is.
Yeah.
We rated it money making as a 7 because you can do so much with it. So that is significant. I don't want to keep beating up the dead horse, but yeah. And our value in game, and I think Jawa agrees with me here, it is straight up a 10 out of 10 for value.
Oh yeah.
Because
hands down,
real life money, it's $110. It's the cheapest out of any Cutlass. It's the best out of any Cutlass. And in game, it costs 2.1 million alpha UEC. Like, it legitimately is one of the best ships in the game to have, especially for its size. So let's go ahead and rank it. And we'll move faster on the Cutty variants here. So the Cutty Black,
it's superior.
It's super tier.
It's super tier. Yeah, it's superior. That's it. I mean, there's no arguing there.
It's a super tier ship, easily super tier. Out of all the Drake ships, it's the one we recommend, and it's definitely our favorite in comparison to the other Drake ships. Yep. Okay, let's move on to the first variant of the Cutlass Blue. You want to just, Jawa, you want to just go ahead and give me our stats for it, and then we'll talk about it. Oh, you know what? We forgot to talk about our X factors. You know what? We already said everything. It's all around best bang for your buck. So
right.
Let's go ahead and talk about the Cutty Blue.
The Cutty Blue.
Can you give me the numbers for it? What's the threat number?
Okay, I'm looking for that. Again, we're maneuverability score of a 3. That'll stay the same.
How about threat?
Threat. It is a 3.
Okay. And survivability?
4.
Okay. Fun factor?
Fun factor. You rated it at a 2. I'm going, okay.
How about utility?
Utility is a 2 as well.
2. Money making?
2.
Best. And value?
Yeah. And value. Let's see. Where? Value in game here is a 2.
Okay. So go ahead. Give me your spiel. If before you do, if the folks don't know, the Cutty Blue has a purpose. It is a multi-role ship, but not really. It is a medium fighter. It says, what does it say? Does it say medium freight on it as well? No.
I'm going over there. Medium fighter, medium freight. Yeah, it says I argue against that. I mean,
it's not
12 SCU, really?
Yeah, 12 SCU. It doesn't have medium freight.
No, that's not, no.
It is a bounty hunting ship with jail cells in the back. So that's what takes up a lot of its cargo space.
Yep.
Right? And we don't have that type of gameplay in the game yet. That's why a lot of these ratings are so low. It does have sirens on them, which is cool. And I believe it comes with distortion weapons, or it used to.
Yeah.
Crew size of 3. Size 3 ship. 12 SCU of cargo, so not very high. It has the same maneuverability as the other Cutlasses, right? That's why they're all going to be the same. So same maneuverability score. I guess the nice thing about the Cutty Blue, its one redeeming factor is its missile capability. It has the most out of any Drake ship that you can play in game. It has the most missile damage that you can apply. 40,000 DPS or damage in missiles, right? Which is the highest by far. It surpasses the Cutty Black at 33,000 with its 40,000. So that is its thing. But overall, it's such a small SCU what are you really going to do with it? You can't do much with it. You can,
No.
you can prevent the quantum. So it's got a quantum dampener, right? But who really cares? Because you can't arrest these people and throw them into the ship. The whole gameplay loop is missing. So it does have a little bit of cool in there, but does it really? Because I can fly away, and if I'm in a faster ship, I'm going to escape your dampening field. So I think that one's pretty easy. That's the big X factor for me, is it has no gameplay, and I think you said you agreed.
So. Yeah, and I agree. And it's $175.
$175 for quantum dampener. And 3.7 million in game. So maybe when there's gameplay, it'll have a higher value. I'm sure it will. So what do you want to? Anything else on the Cutty Blue?
No.
Okay, what do you want to rank it as? I'm thinking D.
Yeah, agreed. D, definitely.
It's a D. It's a D. Okay, next one. One of your favorites, actually, the Cutty Red. Let's
the Cutty Red. It basically has all of the same or not basically. It does have all the same stats as the blue and black, except for it has 0 missile damage because it doesn't have any missiles. And it has lower guns because, well, they replaced the turret on top with a searchlight that kind of works. And it has cool lights on top of it too. You get the lights. It looks cool. But with the new update, you can now spawn back in tier 3 med beds. So we used to use the Cutty Red all the time if we got lost in a cave. This was before you lost everything. If you were Backspace Express, we would load up our backpacks, couldn't find our way out of a cave. We would Backspace Express back up to the Cutty and good to go. So that's how we'd beam back to the surface. It's but that is the main thing with the Red, unlike the other ambulance ships. It doesn't have like supplies in it. That doesn't have a bottle of water and med pens and that type of stuff in it.
It's right. Its role as a medical ship. You know what I mean?
Period.
Crew size really of 2.
Right.
Same maneuverability stats as all the other Cutties. SCU size of 12 because I believe you can fit a rock in it.
You can fit a rock in it. I've done it. I do it regularly, actually.
Yeah, it's not really made for that, but yes, you can fit it in there. So it's not super maneuverable. As far as its threat, it's not really a threat. At all. If it's behind you, okay, run away. It's not a big deal. It's a 2 for threat. And for survivability, it's the same as the other ones. It's a 4 because it is a Cutlass. It has good hit points and a good size 2 shield.
Right.
Fun factor is a 4 because if you enjoy medical gameplay, you can do that. Utility value is also a 5 because you can now regen. And it's medical gameplay. You can put a rock in it. You can do a very light dogfighting. So it has a little bit of that, but what holds it back is the money-making value. Medical missions no one really does them.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's people that do them, but no one really does them. So it's a 1 for money-making value. You're not going to haul cargo in it. You'd have to have these other vehicles to make money with it.
Right.
Because medical missions don't really do that kind of stuff yet, at least. So it's great for the org. So we gave it a value of 4.5-ish. I had a 4. I think Jawa had a little bit higher. Because he is a soft spot for Cutty Red. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at. So for ranking, I think it's maybe a D+. I don't think it's not up there with the Buck. I don't think
it's
it's
I'll give it a C-.
Let's go right between like D plus C minus area, like right there. You know what I mean? Because it's got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But until we get more functions for it,
yeah. Well, the reason why I would rate it above the Buck, because you can haul stuff in it. A, B, you can log out in it, and C, you can regenerate in it.
Okay.
It's
okay. Make any money with it. It's great for
missions.
It's great for it has good utility.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a box mission, but I mean, box missions right now suck too. So very light, very not compared to a Buck, right? So I agree to disagree, right? A little rum burgundy there. Let's move on to the next ship in scope of time, and this is going to be the basic cutter, the Drake cutter.
Oh, it's got this steel.
Oh, okay. Let's just go ahead and give me the numbers for the steel, because I think we both hate the steel.
Yeah. Let's see, utility. Do you want me to do utility value? Start there. I mean,
give me whatever you got.
Utility value of 3, money making of 3, threat. Let's just go here and just. There's really not a purpose for it. I mean,
well, give me the numbers so I can put them up here.
Okay. So threat of 3, survivability of 5.
Yep.
Let's see.
Fun
value
factor?
in game, huh? Fun factor of 2.
Value?
And value of game is 2.
2. And maneuverability is the same as the others. So
right, same as the others. I call it a red deck pickup. You know,
red
made
neck
one
pickup?
out of. Yeah.
A Taliban pickup, a Toyota Hilux with a machine gun on it.
Yeah, well, we made Professor's Nomad into that. We just jumped in the back of her Nomad with rail guns and went, "Hey, look, we have a Cutlass Steel now." Yeah. So yeah.
So the Cutlass Steel, I believe, STEAL, because it costs $235.
$235.
Compared to our Cutlass Black at $110. That is
and it's close to $4 million in game.
Yeah, it's a ripoff. Sorry, CIG. That was a money-making grab. It came out like that. It had bugs when it came out. It is a people hauler. It's made to bring your org into like a ground mission or something, and everybody offload and go, like a hoplite or something.
Right.
But it has cool machine guns and stuff on it. It's just it was so bugged, and it's like I can do that with other ships for less, and a lot of it doesn't work. I think its redeeming quality is that its survivability is high because it has 108,000 hit points.
Right.
So it can take a beating, as it's going to every single time you come in and get smacked by the turrets, because the Cuddy doesn't have a ton of firepower to fight back against those turrets. So
right.
Yeah, but all the doors open with machine guns, and when they do work, it's cool. But for most of the time, they don't work.
Right.
So I think it's a ripoff. Sorry, those out there. $235. It's $100 more than a Cutlass Red.
Yeah. Yep.
Ridiculous. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna move it to our first F tier.
Yeah.
It is a failure, and that's due to the price. Actually, I'm going to change the name to Steel. It's due to the price, and it's due to the way it was rushed out. It's a solid F for me. Okay, let's move on to ships we actually enjoy flying. Let's talk about the Drake cutter.
Yeah. Oh, the Magic School Bus.
The Magic School Bus.
Oh boy, yeah. No, that's a fun little ship. I was impressed with it. It came out. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fist, but I don't think it had too many bugs on it when it first came out.
No, it was pretty good.
And it worked.
It did.
So let's
well.
jump up here to some of our scores here. Utility factor of 2.
Yep.
Money making of 2. And threat of 2.
2.
Survivability of 2. But fun
maneuverability
factor,
of 2. Do we see a
2.
trend here?
Yeah.
And a value of 3, I think. So
4. Fun
That's a
factor of
3.
4.
Oh, a fun factor of 4.
Right.
Value of 3. Yeah.
Yeah, value of 3. It's a starter ship, guys. It's a very good starter ship. I mean, $45. It's actually one of the more inexpensive starter ships.
Yeah.
And you can do everything you want in it. Okay, you can't haul a rock in it, but you can haul yourself around. You can also do box missions in it. You can run a little bit of cargo in it.
4 SCU, so not a lot.
Yeah,
but if you have high value cargo as a starter, it's not. It's terrible as a cargo ship.
Yeah,
but if like you can have a friend in there with you, you can put stuff in a box like guns.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It looks like a magic school bus. It's got the cool working side shades that the Carrack should still have by now.
Yep.
It's actually quite fun to fly.
It is.
But it is not a threat. It's very low weapons. It doesn't have a lot of hit points or shields, so it's not going to survive a lot. It's not very maneuverable because it's a Drake ship, and it's rather slow.
Yeah. It's not quick.
It's got a control score of 211, which is the second lowest. Type in the second lowest. All the cutters are 211.
Yeah.
So it's not quick. It's not quick. It's not maneuverable. But you know what? It doesn't have a ton of utility. You can't make a lot of money with it, but it's actually fun. I've had a lot of fun in my cutter because it's this little tiny bebopping around ship.
Yeah. Yep.
It's almost like an Argo Cargo or something. Argo Cargo sucks. The value is a 1, if not a -1, right? There is no gameplay for an Argo Cargo, but it's fun to fly around. They're fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the cutter, you're right. The cutter is like the Argo Cargo with Quantum.
Yeah. Larry, that's a really good interpretation of the cutter. Okay. Anything else for the cutter? Fun for a starter, Mag. You can log on space. Okay. And you said real life, it's $45, $625K in game. Value of 3 because it's just a little bit multi-roll, and it's a fun factor is in there. So let's rank it. The stock cutter, I think a solid C minus.
I'd rate it at a C, if not maybe a C plus.
I'll give it a C.
Because the fun factor, it's a great starter ship for somebody to bump around in and just go explore planet surfaces, including, and you've got Quantum, so you can go check out the rivers and lakes.
Let's give it a C. You're a C plus, I'm a C minus. Let's give it a C.
Yeah.
I do like the ship. I have fun every time I fly in it. So, and it's Drake. No objection. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Let's move on to its cousin, the Cutter Rambler.
I just look at to be honest with you, I look at them all about the same. I really do. There's really not gameplay to really distinguish them. That's the way I personally feel. Okay.
We have a value of 3, survivability of 2, threat of 2, money making value of 2. You guys see a trend? A utility value of 2. A fun factor of 3. 3?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that's what you have the fun factor as.
Yeah. And a maneuverability is the same as a 2. So what is the point of the Rambler? Well, it's the exploration version, right? It's got less cargo.
Yep.
But its maneuverability is really the same. It has a bigger inventory capacity, internal inventory, because it's made to have more than one person on it, really. You can't really, you're doing a box mission in it. You're not doing cargo missions in it.
Yeah.
It's not super maneuverable. It does. You know what it does have? It has a high hydrogen capacity and a high quantum fuel capacity. That's what makes it the Explorer, right? It's way better on fuel than the other ones.
Right. Well, I don't know if it's better on fuel. It just has more capacity. So yeah.
What else about the Rambler?
That's about it. I just log it as the same, you know. My cutter Rambler, I have it in Magic School Bus paints.
Yeah, I like the Rambler. It's not as fun as the regular cutter.
Yeah.
What else with the Rambler? It's $50, so it's $5 more, and it's 740K in game. So, yeah, that's it. I think it's a C-.
Yeah.
You agree?
Agreed.
I believe this is the. So we'll say C-. Now let's talk about the Cutter Scout.
Yes, the Cutter Scout. Again, let's see. Hey, I've noticed here that utility value of 2, threat value of 2, survivability at 2, cargo capacity and SVU of 2. I think we get a trend going there.
Yeah, its fun factor is a 3.
A 3, yeah, and yeah, but it has only 2 SCU, and it can only have 0.93 inventory capacity. It's the same as a regular cutter, but you don't have much to put in there. It's just it's the same on capacities, and but I'm sorry, but what's the use of it?
It's a Scout. I have one. I never fly it. I fly my regular cutter instead. So let's go over the values. It weighs more. It has the same crew size. Its maneuverability is all the same. All of them are the same.
Right.
It has the same control average. It has the same hydrogen as a cutter. The same quantum as a stock cutter. Like the same shields and decoys and damage reduction and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It has.
It
That's that little crazy radar dish up front, right? It has the radar dish on the top.
It has slightly more hit points by 400.
Okay, that's the Scout part, I guess. It has missiles, but the least amount of missile damage, the same guns. And it has 400 more hit points in the hull.
Yeah, right.
Same shields. And it's $50, same as the Rambler. So it's almost exactly the same ship. Looks different. I guess a little bit of a different role. But in master modes right now, all the speeds and stuff are the same. Maybe that'll change. I think this gets ranked right along with the Rambler at like a C-.
I agree.
And let's talk about the Dragonfly.
I say we link them all together because they are
all the Dragonflies
identical.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and I love my Dragonfly. I really do. I do use it as a surface ship. I have a cool picture of myself on it and myself riding the front seat and tailgater on the back of it.
Yes. The real Dragonfly. I think you and I have a picture of that too.
Yeah. It's I love it. I think it really looks cool too. Personally, it's kind of a almost looks like one of those Star Wars speeder bike things, and I just really enjoy the crud out of it. I really do.
So and it does have a little bit of a fun factor to it, right?
Yeah.
But let's be honest, guys. It's a Gravlev. Gravlevs don't work real great right now.
Yeah.
It's a It doesn't have a lot of hit points. If you take a hit wrong, you land on a mountain wrong from coming off a jump, you're gone.
Yeah.
So its threat is a 1 because it does have guns, but I mean, sometimes you can't even get high enough to shoot a turret or you're not taking out any ships with it.
Right.
It's got, you can take out people with it, I guess. It's got a maneuverability of 1 while it's fast in a straight line. And for Gravlev, it's quick, not like a Nox, but it's still in the grand scheme of things. It's slow compared to a ship. Survivability of 1. It is made out of glass. Fun utility of 1. You can't really do much. There's a little bit of internal storage. You can go from one place to a ground location or race a little bit. But other than that, I mean, really utility is a 1. Money making, you're not going to make any money on it because it doesn't really have any gameplay associated with it. But fun factor, I put it at a 2. It could be a 3.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fun until eventually, and you will blow up in the Dragonfly. It's so have a regen close by because you are almost guaranteed to die flying it around anywhere for anything over 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I remember the first time I flew my Dragonfly, and that was around Port Olisar. I spun it on the pad and I just kind of went diddy bopping around the station.
Yeah, no quantum, which is fine, but also no navigation, no FPS navigation for it. Right, so that sucks too. Yet, that's coming.
We
have Space Tech in the chat talking about he hopes the Star Kitten comes back, and I told him you would kill for the Star Kitten.
Yeah. If there's anybody listening that has a Star Kitten that is tired of it, doesn't want it anymore, send it my way. I want a Star Kitten.
He'll buy it. Space Tech also says Dave Morelli has a 1% completion in the Dragonfly. I think we all know why. So that's all the Dragonflies. They're all the same, whether it's the yellow jacket, the black one, or the Star Kit. Same. So I think it's solidly in F+.
Such thing as an F+, but
well, you're a teacher, but I think it's the high. If there was a highest tier of F, it's there. It's just, but it's not quite a D-.
I'd put it in between the D and the
It's an F. Compared to all these other ships, it's an F.
Right, compared to all these other ships, but all the other ships are ships. They're not ground vehicles.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Just saying.
Also, did we talk about the value? It is worth. Oh, you know what? I also don't have a dang Vulture up here. I'll have to grab that. It's worth $40. No, $40. 342K in game.
Right.
So I think we're right there in between a D and an F.
Yep.
Let's I'm not going to put the mule up there. The mule is on our list, guys.
Yeah.
But I'm not even going to put the mule on here because
it doesn't do anything. Well, you can joust with it like we did.
You know what? It takes a lot of hits and survives it, but it doesn't work. It drives it, but it doesn't do anything else. It's pointless. It doesn't belong on this list. But if you want a mule, it costs $45, 68,000 in game, and it's slow. Let's talk about the Herald while I'm grabbing a picture of the Vulture.
Okay. The Herald is my daily driver. It looks like a Caterpillar engine with a lawn chair attached to it. Back in the day when it would take you forever to get out of Crusader's atmosphere, everybody's sitting there just kind of putting along trying to get out because you can't go all that fast. I'd go flying right by them in my Herald. And so I really enjoyed it. You can log out in it. Offensive capabilities, not really. I do the best I can with that, but it's not a fighter. It's meant to get me from point A to point B quick, and that's what I use it for. And again, you can log out in it, and that's what I like out of a ship, that you can Just instead of going back to a station, you can log out. Sometimes that doesn't work, but possibility is there for it. Anybody in our org knows that Jawa shows up. He's probably showing up in the Herald.
That is true. It is like your baby.
Yeah. And they made some cool green paint for it, but it is a transporter or a medium data. There is no data gameplay whatsoever. And so it's right there along with the MSR, but the MSR can do a lot more. It can haul stuff. You can load cargo into it. You cannot do that with the Herald. Yeah, I do not use the Herald for running around and doing, I really don't do box missions too much in the Herald. I don't run cargo in it. I am a loot goblin in it though.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So let's get up to some of the stats on it. It according to Urkel, it has the same stats as the Buccaneer. So
well, maneuverability.
For maneuverability. Fist did mention though that Urkel has or can make mistakes. So so that's for control average, but it's the most out of all of the Drake ships. Let's go up here. Utility value.
It is. We also have a picture of Jawa at the Air and Space Museum in Colorado. There is a giant engine sitting there, and there's a lawn chair in front of it, and he's sitting there on his Drake Herald because it's a lawn chair tied to a Caterpillar engine. It is. It's cool. Yeah. It's fast. It maneuvers like a Buccaneer, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
There's just nothing to do with it because it's a hacking ship, and there's no hacking in the game.
Yeah. It's up here, utility value of 2. Money making value of a 1.
And I think 2 is generous, by the way, because
for utility,
it doesn't have any SCU. It doesn't have a cargo grid, and you can only do really box missions in it.
Yeah, I agree with that because it's money making value 1. I've already said this is a daily driver. It's not.
It is your go to work ship.
Yes, it's my go to work, and now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to take my Vulture out now, or I'm going to take my Prospector out.
Yeah, you need to go to Seraphim so you can go to work for Morrison, right?
Yes.
You take your Vulture up to the space station, and then you go actually make some money with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and take the Herald up to the space station.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah. The Herald to getting your Vulture.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. So it's survivability of a 2. That is 100% accurate. Don't screw up. You will auger in. Although Fist and the other members of the org have seen me do some crazy stuff in it just because I fly it all the time. And I know it's what it can do.
Well, but why is it a 2? It's a 2 because it has 6,500 hit points and 3,000 shields. So not a lot of shields, not a lot of hit points. More hit points than the Dragonfly. But the Cutter has more hit points than the Herald.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. The Buck has more hit points than a Herald, and a Buck is made out of glass. So just keep that in mind. It's fast.
Yeah. But the thing is also with it though, if I take some hits, I have little tiny winglets on the back of it. So if something happens with it, it doesn't get really squirrely flying like the Buck does.
True.
I can still fly my Herald with half of it blown off.
Yeah, that giant motor does have a purpose.
Yeah. So
okay.
But volume game of 2,
he argues with it because it's his favorite
I argue
ship.
with that mainly because it's my daily driver, but as I just put earlier, it's my daily driver. I take it to go someplace to take another ship out.
But would you expect somebody who doesn't have the fleet of ships you have.
Right.
Why would you buy it? Because unlike the other hacking ship, the MSR has cargo room.
Right. Yep.
It has multi-crew. It has turrets. Right. This doesn't. So
I bought it because it looked cool,
and it has the ghoulish green paint. That's why you bought it. That's why.
Well, now I got the ghoulish. No, they came out with the ghoulish green. That's
yes,
right on.
Yes, but it makes you love it. So
yeah, and we did drag race once. And we were trying out the different racers, and I went, "Hey, let me try something." And I went back and got my Herald, and it blew the M50 and the Razor off the line. It jumped off the line quicker.
That was pre-master modes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's rank this ship. You can get a Herald in game. You can buy it real life for $85 in game. 1.2 million.
Yeah, and $85. I think that's if you're spending money on a video game.
I think it's a lot of money for a ship that has no purpose yet.
Right, but I don't think it's that much money for a ship that kind of looks cool. Buccaneer's 110. I mean, yeah, I had no problem spending $85 on it. I love, it's my ship.
Let's have a dogfight. Me and a Buck, you and a Herald. See who has the most value.
Okay. Okay.
We'll go into arena.
Yeah, no, what we'll do is we'll fly somewhere and do some mining real quick.
You're not mining anything with a Herald. We're hand mining at that point.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's rank it. I'm going to give it a D.
I'm going to give it a C. You know,
I can't agree with you. It has look at its stats. Okay, its maneuverability is the only thing that gives it a D. It has no gameplay.
You can log out in it.
So what? Half the time that's bugged.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
the ship bed does not impress me. When we have full server meshing, it may impress me.
Yeah.
Right, but as of right now, it's like, okay, 80% of the ships have a bed.
Yeah.
So bro, if it had gameplay with it,
we're gonna agree to disagree here.
I think so. If it had gameplay with it, I would give it probably a B, because it'd be one of two ships that has hacking, but it doesn't. It's a D, bro. I know you love it. Let's raise it just a little bit above a D. Like C minus.
Okay, I'll
just for you. All right, let's talk about the good old Vulture.
I
our
bought
bread and butter.
Vulture as soon as they mentioned it. As soon as it was available for sale, I bought it immediately. Then I remember the first time that they had it at a DefenseCon, I think it was, where you could actually climb in and around it. It wasn't working yet, but you can actually go inside the ship. And I just fell in love with the dang thing. It's Drake inside out. It's tough. It's got just enough to keep you alive in it. But right now we have people in the org just going, "Oh yeah, I was out salvaging with my Vulture, and I made 5 million in like no time."
Yeah.
Just I hear those stories all the time.
Yeah, we hear them a lot.
Yeah, I did pay a lot less actually than that 175, but I got it. Is that a concept I got it at or something, Fist?
Probably, yeah. It's 175 today if you were to buy it. Probably at the DefenseCon. If it's even for sale. I don't know if it's for sale or not.
It's industrial. It's light salvage. So you can munch small parts of ships. You can't munch bigger parts of ships. But you can hull scrape for days with it.
Yeah. RMC is a lot of money. So
yeah, it is.
That gives you the money making value of what we have as a 9.
Right.
Right now, salvage, you can make a ton of money. Construction materials, not so much.
Right.
But the RMC, you can make a lot, but you still need construction materials because it has the only form of crafting in the game.
Right.
At its buffer station. And so does the Reclaimer, but it's the only two that do that. And that's cool. Right?
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know
money
about
making's great.
Yeah. So like with you, Fist, how many times have you gone out in your Vulture one? Oh crap, I forgot a tractor beam. Oh, I'll just go make one.
I did it just the other day. Like it happens all the time.
Yeah. It's we don't even think about it because I'll just go make one.
Well, one of the neat things that now the buffer inside the Vulture holds 12 SCU.
Yep.
So you can legit pop out, you can fill up your buffer, pop out all those boxes, and then you can fill it up again. And if you're careful, you can stack them in a way where you get I think we got 27 max in a Vulture. And then you can fill it up again, sell all those, come back to your Vulture, pop out more boxes. So you can legit, for one decent run, 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, you're making $500,000 easy. Easy.
And what I usually do is I run with another, with a org mate or something, and they fly out there in a Corsair or a Cuddy or an Avenger or something else, and they're stripping the guns and stuff off the ship while I'm sitting there scraping the hull.
Yeah.
So and you always look in the cargo hold of the ship you're stripping too, because a lot of times there's stuff in there.
True. So it has a utility value of 3. While it is a purpose-built ship, solo ship for salvage, it does have a cargo bay, right? You could fit some grav levs in there if you had to. You could do box missions in it. I wouldn't, but it's much more valuable as a salvager. But you could. It has a cool entrance, even though the ladder outside doesn't work. You can still exit that way instead of going all the way down the ladder and stuff. There's a bug with the ladder
right front of it, right? I landed almost right inside where the elevator is, and I just run off the front of it.
Yeah.
So, the lights suck, though.
The lights do suck. They need better lights.
They need more powerful lights on it.
Its threat value is a 1 because you're not worried about a Vulture behind you ever. Maybe salvaging you if your shields are down.
I was about ready to say drawing things on the hull of your ship, right, Fist?
Right. Maneuverability is a 2. It is not a maneuverable ship.
No, it isn't. It's
for its size, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not good
if you
at
use
all.
your thrusters, if you use your thrusters, like I have in my pinky control, my index finger control here on my throttle, and you can throw it around pretty easily, but in combat or something, even when you're having to get away from somebody, just hope that you can spool your quantum up in time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Survivability is a 3. It does have 35,000 whole hit points, which is good. It has a size, I think it's size 1 shield, 3,000 hit points, 2 of them, I think. But the whole hit points are good, so it can take a few hits and go. So when you go into quantum mode to get out there, you have a little bit of survivability.
Right.
I think salvage right now is one of the funnest game loops. So our fun factor is a 7. And I think part of the fun is that you make so much money in order to buy another ship that can do something else.
Right.
But salvage is chill. It's what mining used to be. Mining used to be just go, I'm just going to waste some time. I'm going to go chill. I'm going to mine some stuff. I'm going to have a good time. That's what salvage is now. I think that I know that game loop's going to change and evolve. Yeah. But for right now, salvage is cool, man. Hull scraping, fracturing, all that stuff. It's cool. Smoke some weed,
things on people's ships.
Some salvage. Draw things on a ship. So let's go ahead and wrap this up and let's rank the Vulture. My thoughts, compared to all these other ships, it's an A.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's an S. It's no Cutlass Black.
No.
but I think it's a solid A all around. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. It's a solid A all around, and I really enjoy the Vulture.
Yeah,
great ship.
Yeah, it is a great ship,
and it's yellow.
I know, and that's the color I keep it too. To be honest with you, it's that hazard yellow. Because you're out there working, you don't want somebody to run into you.
Yeah.
I just leave it the stock color.
So,
yeah.
I think we're going to wrap up the video here, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I don't stream on Twitch very often, so apologies for the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to download this video, do a little bit of editing in the beginning, throw it onto YouTube for all eternity. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. If you're in Twitch right now, thank you for tuning in and watching.
Thank you so much for being here.
I hope you guys have had fun. I've had fun. I think Jawa and I want to do more of these. And as we're doing these, we're getting better. This was kind of very impromptu. Let's get it done today type thing.
Yeah. Right.
And this cat's got to be this. Oh, he's over here. This guy's got to be at work early in the morning. So sorry for keeping you up late, my friend.
No worries.
Look, guys, we probably won't do another one for Invictus, but we want to start ranking other ship stuff like Anvil and Aegis.
Right.
Then we want to do categories, right? Like what's the best light fighter? What's the best utility ship? What's the best this? We want to do these ranking videos because while nobody cares about our opinion, I care. Mm-hmm. And I think there's some people out there that like to watch and just see our opinions on things, and maybe they'll learn something, and if they do, that's phenomenal.
Right. Yeah.
So and we'll get more people interacting in chat hopefully soon. And guys, we are, now that we have 323 here, we are making stuff. We're making content. It does take a while because we have very, very busy lives. So make sure to tune in to our Thursday night B Team stream. Join us in the Discord. Come adventure with us, the Star Citizen. It's Thursday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Or hop in our Discord. What do I hit for Discord on Twitch? Is it just exclamation Discord?
No, because I don't have Catbot up. I'll fire
okay. Anyway, Jawa will put our Discord link in there, but come fly with us, guys. We're veterans of the United States military. We love hanging out with other veterans and stuff. You can get 'em. But you don't have to be a veteran. You can be whatever. We got plenty of people in there. And then Jawa with Jawa, which is the chill stream. That's on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Although they do combat every once in a while. But most of the time, it's let's hang out, chill. And, join us for our cult meetings with Jawa with Jawa. They always end with us in a medical gown in some station, and people look at us very weird. Oh, thank you, Professor. Appreciate it. Professor put the link in there. So yeah, come join us. Java's got some videos he's got in the pipeline. I have the Santiago video filmed. I just got to throw it in the editor. That takes a couple hours to get it all edited up and throw it onto YouTube. I think tomorrow I'm going to be doing first looks live, streamed live on the Firebird, the Nursa rover, and what's the other ship that just came out, Jawa? The new Retaliator stuff.
Yes.
Because I got the cargo module, I have the torpedo module. So we'll take a look at some of that stuff. I'd like to stream it, but then I don't know, maybe I'll make a video. But we got stuff coming up. So tune back in. We are back, and I guess we'll see you next time. You have anything else for the fine citizens out there?
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And yeah, come and join us during our live streams. We have a lot of fun, and just our org is full of some real great people. So
yes.
We will see ya.
Yep. Boom. My thing needs a mirror because it looks like it's my left hand. All right, say your tagline, Jawa.
All right, well, we'll see you in the verse, and happy mining.
Good night, everybody.